mechanized infantry company, which is 10 uh, uh, M2A2 ODS with infantry on board.
And we had them demark. We have to demark two of these as observers. Is that
You
right?
want to know which ones are your HQ vehicles, because it'll affect cohesion and so forth.
All right, hold on. I'll mark those. Hold on, mark these two here, and they can act as forward observers. And right. So again, what? Again, remind me. So what can come on first turn and where? Just center, table edge,
All of
the
the
infantry, right?
all of the uh, forces at start can come in. They can start in this area.
Oh, in this corner. In
Yeah,
this corner.
right.
Okay, so the one thing I will warn everybody again is that things are not locked down. So you're gonna be need to be pretty close to. Um, there you go, Nick. Very good. You've done a
Oh,
pretty good amount of tabletop simulator, right, Nick? Sounds like you have.
so, yeah, somewhat.
Yeah,
Very
good.
done enough.
Please, yeah. I'm gonna, in effect, I'll give you overall command, and I'm here to help, and
Okay.
I'll take whatever sections make sense. Um,
So
I kind of just want
are
to give
we
you the
assuming that we're starting mounted or
You are
right.
starting mounted. Yeah.
okay? I'll
I
just
think
leave all
I think what he said was pretty much this corner here, right?
Yep.
Anywhere in this corner we can come out. The assumption being
That's correct. Yeah,
line of
and
sight
my forces are all uh,
off.
they're hidden initially. So the other thing I wanted to mention to you is your offboard assets.
Mm-hmm.
You have you have SAMs available. So if I put stuff in the air, you'll be able to shoot them. That represents Bucks, S300s, etc. Um, you have manpads with your infantry. So that you're really, other than you can indeed use the 25 millimeters on the Bradleys in an anti-air roll if they're close enough. But manpads are your other anti-air weapon. Um, you have a artillery UAV that can either be used on table or you can send it off table to assist in your counter battery rolls. Because one of the things that you may wish to do is suppress the Russian artillery. Um, your artillery, you have a towed battery of 105 millimeters that fire HE and smoke, and you have a self-propelled battery of 155 millimeters that fire HE, smokes, and Excaliburs, which are um, precision guided HE rounds.
and how long does it take us to switch the UAV between on and off table?
If it is on table, you would basically there would be a turn where you would be flying it off table,
Right.
and vice versa. Yeah.
And
So
the
it'd be that's basically there's one turn it's not doing either job. Is what that comes down to.
yeah, understood.
And if it is on table, it can get shot at by the Russians and so on.
Okay. So, is there anything that I need to know about the terrain here? That
You are looking at basically tree and undergrowth hedges. They're a small chance of a vehicle breakdown for a tracked vehicle, and they block line of sight. And you're looking at open plowed fields. So you basically can drive around this map without any major impediments.
Right, but
okay.
if you cross, if you
So
do cross
where are the
the tree
hedges?
lines, you can bog, right?
Oh, okay. So it's
Now
the tree.
some of these, yeah, some of these tree lines I purposely made a little bit more open, Walter. Like this tree line here, I think is passable without a bog check. Like, but
And
it's
what sort of visibility are we talking about? So, say, just for example, if I pick a Bradley, okay, and just drop it here, so does it more visible here? Is it? Can it see through this tree line or see through it at a penalty, or is it blocked? The line of sight.
The example of that open tree line right there, where there's gaps, we'll say you can see through it with intervening terrain. That'll affect your spotting and your to hit rolls. Where the trees are together, like over here, then that blocks line of sight.
Yeah.
And then you
Mhm.
can choose to drive into the tree line so you can see out. And, the typical, if you can see them, they have a chance to see you.
Okay.
Common sense. Being in the terrain affects spotting rolls. So, a big thing that the Ukrainians will be doing today is knowing people are watching them they can't spot yet.
Okay, so we're starting over here, and we do have these 4 leopards as well.
And what sort of distances are we talking for to sort of remain as a cohesive platoon?
That's the very question I was about to ask.
So, the ruler in grid mode, that's inches in the game system. An inch is 50 meters. So typically, you would not have vehicles closer than an inch from each other if they know they're in combat. And as far as firing ranges, infantry are effective out to 6 inches, and you can fire cannons and missiles all the way across the table if you have a spot.
Okay. I've drawn a blue line inadvertently and I can't seem to get rid of it.
I can't see your blue line.
Yeah.
It's right way down here. It might be just the angle you're looking at. Well, you might need to get zoomed.
I see it. I
Oh,
see your
there
blue
you go.
line. That's cool.
Ooh,
I don't know how you did that.
Well, you change the color. Pick a color. Let me pick a color too.
So now that's a stream.
Okay.
Alright.
Right, now I can.
And let me promote Nick as well in case he needs to copy anything. So now you have been field promoted, Nick.
Fantastic.
All right.
Now,
As
this
we
is-
always say, no immediate pay raise.
Right, so 6 centimeters. Oh, I mean, 8 centimeters. Okay, big button. Grid
Yeah, you want
inches.
grids are the equivalent of inches, right? And it's we're supposedly in micro armor scale here, right? 6 millimeters, right? That's your scale of the gods.
That's correct.
Okay.
So a quick rule of thumb is like half one of these squares is the sort of maximum infantry range. Is that about right? 6 inches.
Yeah, just be careful that these aren't all equisized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I purposely scattered it as if I was using scissors really horribly. I've pulled in these leopard twos, just whatever, in just some scattered element format. The assumption.
To infantry ranges, it's 8 inches is effective, 16 is at half strength,
Oh, good.
and then
the scale is a bit off here. So sorry.
right. Oh, I think it's fine.
So those ones are already there. Those leopards. Are we driving on, or we can set up?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I wanted to make sure you were okay with us coming on with the leopards.
All of your at-start forces you can set up in that
pretty much
corner of the map. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
And now, please. Yeah. That's right. We're coming in mounted. So, all right.
So range on the Bradley's gun is 40 inches, and like I said, the anti-tank guided missiles, they'll have their own printed ranges, but many of them are longer than the table. For example, when our alligators show up, they can fire 2 table lengths or so.
Are you okay if I send Nick those 3 files you sent me?
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get those to him so he has some semblance of what we're aiming at. Where did I put those? All right, hold on.
So, just to mention some modernized armor basics then. It's I go, you go. Um, the defender can interrupt and fire on the active player whenever they're moving. Um, so I find, yeah, probably the bulk of my fire happens on the other player's turn. But anyway, so that just means, it's your turn. You're moving all your stuff. I'm reacting to you as you go. So nothing revolutionary in game design there.
Oh, these are large files.
Okay.
I'm sending you a few PDFs that have some predetermined information about the vehicles, and I'll help you.
InDesign does make big files.
We'll pretty much look everything up for everybody, so it's not vital, but you can at least look at it after the fact. Wow, I think I used camo a little bit too effectively here. I can barely see anything.
Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? Until you actually start playing, and then you're going, where are the vehicles?
Doctrine.
A common problem on the tabletop too. We use
Yes.
a lot of lichen, so now where are the tanks?
If you happen to move anything, and want help, see anything, tell me.
Right. So I'm just sort of
I'm liking our board here. This is working pretty well. All right. You know what?
I'm quite happy to take any advice or suggestions. By the way, I'm not gonna. This is mine. I'm doing it my way.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Yeah, as far as the game system rewards having some vehicles in Overwatch, it also rewards having some infantry dismounted with manpads.
yes.
And then Ukrainians, we've decided that the shoulder launchers are so ubiquitous that we basically say there's a chance that any given squad will have one available, rather than tracking the individual launchers, which is what I'm doing for the Russians. Um, uh, and I mean, the upshot of that is that anyone you dismount might be able to take a shot at a helicopter. And then if we go above very low, then we're going to attract the attention of the uh, larger SAM systems off board.
Yeah. Okay, so they're kind of in the tree line. Actually, in that case, I'll move these guys up to the tree line. So that's it. So first platoon is up there, and the troops deployed to the tree line.
All right. Well, the Ukrainians will move first, and they're not yet in contact with any Russians. So,
Okay.
whenever you guys are ready, we'll go through the first turn.
Okay, well, I'm ready to go.
All right.
All right,
So here's the phases. Basically, yeah, we would start off with any cohesion rolls, any things like stun vehicles, and so on. And this is also where you would contact your offboard assets. So if you'd spawn some dice, Peter.
I am doing that right now.
Okay.
What colors do you like? White and red?
White and a color, yeah. Because certain rolls you need to note. You need to do separate things with the two dice. So you have a decision right now to where is your artillery UAV.
Right. Okay. If we got a marker for it.
Yes, I can do that.
I'm going to need one as well.
Hold on. Let's do the marker.
We need UAV models in the game too.
Yeah, sure. I think we've been historically using blue for Ukraine.
Has it got a radius of sort of vision as well?
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be spotting from where you place it, and you can decide how high it is, and there's always the mix between do I want to get shot at by air defense or by machine guns. Typically, we're doing everything very low because there's so many SAM nets, and this was an area of discussion uh, uh, in uh, in the last few tabletop games too. Are they really shooting larger SAM systems at UAVs? And yes,
Right.
there are lovely videos of quadcopters being shot at by books and things like that. Yeah, you see the missile trail go zipping past the UAV, which is why we get to see the video.
That's the first thing you do, then exhaust their SAM sites.
Right, right. Speaking of which, yeah, the Ukrainians successfully landed a special forces team deep in Crimea and blew up an S-400, which I thought was just a brilliant operation.
Very nice.
And of
So,
course, we are just north of Robotyne here, and Robotyne is in the news because this fighting was started June. It has finally fallen to the Ukrainians, except for a few buildings in it.
By the way,
And
here's all. I put all the markers over here.
gotcha.
Just in case
okay.
you start using them.
So I placed the UAV.
All right, and there are altitude bands, and I suggest you place it very low because you're trying to spot
Sure.
infantry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, having placed it there, go ahead and roll 2 6-sided dice.
A bunch of them on the side of the table there.
Am I looking at totals or
Yeah.
noting?
He rolled very well, actually, right?
Yeah. Let me see from where he is.
In this game,
That's good.
prefers low rolls. I think.
Yeah.
Right? There's only a few things.
Yeah, almost without exception, you want low rolls. Yeah. Okay. So basically, you do not see any Russians. You do see a lot of the ground underneath you in the open has been churned up recently.
Okay.
Speaking, I'm going to try to lock as many things as I can here.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, do you take the 4 Leopard A2s?
Yeah. Yep.
So you're going to want to make rolls, each of you, for your forward observers to make sure you have good access to your batteries. That's going to be a 10 or less. Yes, and Peter.
Hold on.
All right. At any point during this turn or the coming Russian turn that you decide you want to activate one of your artillery batteries, then you would just announce that during that firing opportunity, and we would run through that. But right now, you have no one to shoot at.
Okay.
Although you could do a smoke mission, for example, or you could just shell a tree line experimentally. So
yeah. Well, if the ammo's not really in question, then I might go ahead and do that. Honestly,
As soon as we do that, though, are we not opening ourselves up to possible fire?
Yeah, I think we can assume they know we're coming, right? At this point.
What opens you up to defensive fire is moving within line of sight. Yeah.
Yeah. Or were you more referencing counter battery, Nick? Yeah.
Yeah, I was, but I mean that's a valid point.
Yeah, yes. We'll hold off a little bit.
Once you're firing, you can be counter battery.
Yep, we'll hold off until we think we'll be more effective.
We've tried to reflect. The Ukrainians seem to be better at counter battery, so the Ukrainians have UAVs available for that purpose tactically, and we're not doing that with the Russians. We may be overgeneralizing, but it seems like that's what we're seeing in what we hear about the battlefield. So,
okay. All right. So what I intend to do then is just to move to push um, some troops forward. So I think on the like
Do
my
we?
right here, we've got your leopards. So
Yeah, they'll
you
Overwatch
can
for
you
now.
can kind of yeah you can overwatch while I sort of inch my guys up. So
I just
Question.
figured out why I keep clicking the wrong keys. I'm trying to use Balder Gates camera keys.
Yeah, there will be no magic today, other than my
There,
rolling.
there are no miracles here. Yes, hilarious.
right. So infantry, how far can they go?
Let's see, Bradley. Let me go look that up for you.
If they are dismounted, they go 4. If you are dismounting, then you can use a quarter of the vehicle's movement, dismount them, and that's the end of their move.
Okay, these ones are already dismounted, so I think they can just
Fully
go through
tracked.
there.
The speed fully tracked for the Bradley A2 is 17 inches. It looks like that's
Yep,
its standard speed.
slower than the leopards.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So that infantry unit goes forwards, and these Bradleys just go up to the tree, sort of to the
Yep.
tree line there.
Okay.
So that's them. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm going to do anything.
Just note that the Bradleys are close enough that, like say, um, an artillery barrage would hit both and things like that. So just be aware of the spacing. Yeah. My rule
So,
of thumb is an inch between vehicles, so
okay.
and between infantry, so they don't get.
All right. In that
Yeah.
case, I'll have this guy spaced out a bit more.
Yeah.
Like I say.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So I think that's all for now.
Okay. You receive no defensive fire. You are going to want to do a spotting roll with. Let's see who would need to do the spotting roll. Yes, the Bradleys. Give me.
Oh, the HQ ones.
The lead Bradleys would need to do a spotting roll.
All right.
So that platoon's going to do.
So do I roll for all of them, or do I separate it into the left and the right Bradleys?
Well, they're still operating as a platoon, so it'd be one roll. But yeah, both of those two leading groups of Bradleys should roll.
I'm wasting all my good rolls.
Look at that. All right, now let me do some math here.
You're learning quick, Nick. Roll low. That's good.
That's right. Okay, so that is a magnificent roll. That will mean of course, I didn't have my book open to the charts. So detection range day, infantry in cover that are not firing are basically a base range of 0. So you are still too far away until they start doing something for you to see infantry the way you're looking, but you would see vehicles out to a considerable distance.
Yeah.
You would right now you would be seeing a stationary vehicle in cover out to 30 inches. So you're pretty confident there's no vehicles immediately in front of you.
Okay.
Now, one thing: do we have engineers? Do we have any units that have any plow capability? Plow.
The Leopard 2Rs are both mine rollers.
Okay. So.
And what you're going to want to do when you get to a minefield is basically you're going to form a line behind the 2R so that you're driving down the plowed path.
Right. So just to call that out, Nick, that we're going to have some problems if we run into some. Just you don't have to correct it right this second. But
right. And mechanically, what'll happen is you'll be moving your vehicle, and I'll say, "Hey, stop! You're in a minefield," and we'll roll that first contact. And
so
then, at that point, you can change your move. You don't have to keep fighting on the minefield.
Infantry, if they're obviously trained to do such, they would be probably metal detecting out there too, right? I mean, is there anything rules-wise that kind of...
Absolutely. If only you had pioneers, you would be able to mine clear with the infantry. I have bad news for you about your order of battle today, though. You are dependent on the mine plows.
So what for detection and removal?
Well, you're going to know you're in a minefield. It's like the first inch in movement into a minefield. Like, hey, I'm in a minefield, and then you would not be committed to continue to move to the minefield.
Just from the disturbance of the soil in a certain pattern, right?
Well, the fact that I'm rolling on the infantry table against you, saying, "Hey, I'm attacking you with mines." I'm in a minefield. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want the mine rollers to be plowing, they're going to move. They're going to pay an extra point of movement for every inch they move.
Okay.
So so you're moving 11 inches with mine rollers while they're rolling. So you basically just decide when the leopards go in front and start mine rolling. And it's perfectly sensible approach to sacrifice a Bradley to figure out where to put the leopards.
Don't tell that to the Bradley driver. Hey, did you hear what he told me?
Yeah, you are expendable, Yuri. Expendable. What, am I Russian? Yeah.
But I can. So I can bring I'll bring the leopards up to this area here because I think this feels relatively
right. So yeah.
So,
if you want to go back and do that during this movement phase, go ahead. Yeah.
So how far can they move if they're not going to be using their rollers?
Their speed is 22. You want to know too that one of the things you want to keep track of is whether you've left them in motion or not. Obviously, it affects shooting at them and them shooting. So did you spawn any motion chits?
You know what? It would freaking help if I was presenting the screen here, wouldn't it? Tom, I'm surprised you didn't tell me that.
Hello, Internet. Yeah.
Just a little cloud of smoke at the back of the vehicle or something.
That'll work too. Also, we have motion chits, which I'm gonna clone this.
Okay.
Clone.
There we go.
So this is if they remain in motion.
Right.
So they're not going to remain in motion. They're just going to go and park there and wait for orders.
Yeah. So the effect is your fire will be more accurate, although you have 3D stabilizers, so it doesn't matter. Like it wouldn't really hurt yours, and you're slightly easier to hit. Your spotting slightly better. No, you've got director fire control, so it almost doesn't matter to you whether you're moving or not for all that. Any era before this, we're like really disciplined. We have like a bunch of vehicles stationary the whole turn on Overwatch, and so this era we just keep rolling. We might drive slower because the fire control's so good.
I'm just going to reorient my second platoon. There we go. Right. Okay. So I'm done.
Okay. And like I said, there was no defensive fire on you. I do have a roll to make, so I'm going to make it. And Peter, I did not see your spotting roll from your Bradleys. If you'll roll that, so
yeah, I'll redo that.
Okay. So I need a let's see. I need a red marker. I can spawn one, right? So.
You should be able to. You can probably just copy the UAV marker and.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
And again, be careful. Let me start locking some of these. I'll start locking ahead of where we're going to be mousing.
And I will change its color. So you are aware of a quadcopter.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Not far from yours, as a matter of fact. They're both flying very low, so they're above the tree line, and so
we've installed the middle finger module to that one. It's like a Tesla. That's extra.
One of my favorite little subject matter to watch videos on are people taking down quadcopters with sticks, with pistols, things like that, and quadcopters ramming quadcopters.
Whatever your neighbors do when you're out there,
We're definitely still in like early 1915 when it comes to drone-on-drone combat there.
Yeah, so it would be a great TV show, wouldn't it? Turned like Drone Wars or something.
That's right. Yeah, like
well, they have the drone racing TV shows. By the
that's
way.
right, and there was that old robot battle arena show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, teams of UAVs shooting each other down.
Robot
That'd
Wars,
be awesome. Yeah. Take the drone racing, add handguns to the UAVs, and then see what happens.
No, just like airsoft, propelled, pellets and stuff.
No.
You're trying to bring it up a notch here.
That's right.
Right.
Oh, I made a mistake. It's not quite where I said it was. It is more like there. Okay. Anyway, yes, the quadcopters notice each other. So
Okay. Is that the action from the Russian side? Is it back to us again?
no. Well, you noticed as you moved up and you're spotting, he had a good spotting roll. So he's like, "Oh, there's something in the air." So
Okay. We can try and keep an eye on that.
We're pretty much just trying to get off south edge.
that's right. Yeah.
Is it possible for the Bradley to open up on it from this range, or is that pretty extreme?
Oh, that's not
Bradley range
Unheard
is
of,
40.
yeah.
You actually could take a
almost.
shot. Let me
Maybe
pull
from
that
this
chart up.
one.
That could be your advancing fire. You'll be easier for me to spot on the ground.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
And they won't be able to spot us for, I don't know, artillery coming in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Double A cannon, firing at a very low target. Your base chance to hit is 4. It's a small UAV, which would take you to 2. And what do we got going for you? It's not radar assisted. It's not multi-barrel. So yeah, give it a roll. Snake eyes. You take the UAV down.
Yeah, that sounds like it's too low for the gunner to believe he would hit.
That's right.
To me, so
Yeah.
I won't do that.
But you could, at some later point, get someone in position with manpads.
Yep.
And take a shot at it. Now they are low enough that the trees do shadow, but basically you're going to measure as if they're 10 inches up. So you do the triangle, and then like the trees are 1 inch high for that measurement purpose. So things immediately behind trees are shadowed. So.
Okay.
Now where you put your UAV, you're really over the trees, so you can see on both sides.
Yeah. Okay, so just say when it's good for us to move again.
Okay, so yeah, there was no defensive fire from the Russians, and there's no cohesion rolls, etc. from me. So we're into your turn 2. So
Turn 2. Once if you don't mind going through each phase, just for my
that's
own
right.
memories.
So just go through the phases. We have supporting fire, which is also we have cohesion, which would also be we resolve stunned vehicles. That's when you contact artillery, etc. Then we have supporting fire, which would be the vehicles you're going to just have an overwatch the whole turn. Vehicles infantry. Their fire is more effective, but then they don't move at all during the turn. Then you have movement.
Are there Overwatch counters that we can place?
There's no counters, but when you fire in that mode, you put a supporting fire counter down.
I see.
Yeah. So anything you don't declare, you can say, well, I'm overwatching with them. They're not in motion. And then basically they supporting fire, and then they are done for the whole turn. You could change your mind with anyone else that didn't fire and move, so there's no counters. And then anyone stationary is more effective during defensive fire. So, but to go on with the phases, so we have cohesion, supporting fire, movement, and during movement, there's defensive first fire, which interrupts your movement. Once your movement's done, anyone who didn't defensive first fire, who's eligible, final fires. Then there's advancing fire, which has various penalties. Infantry fire is half effectiveness, and so on. And then if anyone is within an inch of an enemy unit, then you have close combat. And infantry can voluntarily close combat vehicles and things like that. So those are the phases. And then the other side does it. So you didn't see anything out of me during my turn 1. So now we're into your... Oh, actually, you're going to see a die roll. Fantastic. Okay, it's turn 2. So the only bookkeeping you need to do at the start here is make your contact rolls again. So each of you are going to roll just to make sure you have contact with your artillery.
All right, doing that right now down here. Possibly, yeah, right? 9 is okay?
9 is okay?
Yeah.
And Nick, if you'll roll as well.
You got 9 as well.
Okay.
All
right.
I didn't roll yet.
Oh, I thought you did. Sorry.
There you go. 10. 5.
All right. There's definitely some electronic warfare going on, but you have access to the artillery nets. So your 2 batteries are available when you want them. And let's see. Yeah, if you had sporting fire, you could do it now. You don't really have targets yet. You could ask for an artillery mission if you wanted smoke or what have you.
Yeah. Do we want to do that? I mean, we have plenty of ammo, but it will start. We'll start getting some counter battles. I'm just wondering if we might want to lay down something here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we want to like lay a mission across this tree line.
Yep, you have to decide whether you're going to go to Broadway or not.
Yeah. Where's that defined? That's defined here, right?
It doesn't really mean much in game terms, but we've been calling this area Broadway because this is where historically they lost all the vehicles.
Oh,
I'm gonna lay down fire for effect here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Sounds good. Can we move the UAV out of the way, or is that?
UAVs, if you're going to do it on the other side of the tree line, you're fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
The smoke will actually block its line of sight.
All right.
Looking over the smoke, actually, if you imagine.
And I can fire. You know what we could? Well, what we could do is use the 155 for fire for effect, and we could even use the 105s for a smoke line. Do we want a smoke line here?
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like a smoke line or something along like the tree line.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, so Walter, we'll lay a smoke line here with the 105s.
Okay,
and we'll do a fire for effect here. Area for.
Okay, so you're going to basically measure out 5 inches where you're going to put the smoke. You can do a spotting round first, or you can just fire for effect. And
here, I'm going to use the.
Yeah.
Can we use the UAV to spot for the?
Yes. Yeah, the UAV can spot for the artillery fire.
Smoke. I'm just going to give it a thing here. Let me give it a fancy color. I'm going to make it pink.
Right. So with both of these things, you could in this phase say, I want to do a spotting round, and then during the advancing phase, do the fire for effect. It makes it a little more accurate. If you miss the accuracy roll, it'll drift up to 6 inches. It's the thing to remember.
I'd say we just go for it, right?
Okay.
We're not really necessarily going for accuracy right now. We're just trying to lay down the law a little bit.
Sure. So let's go ahead and let's see. The 105s are going to do 5 inches of smoke along the tree line there. So roll 2d6.
Let me put it like exact center here, just in case it goes. Yeah. And then
this is the smoke, right?
Smoke.
105.
Yeah. If you hover over it, I put what it was, spot. Oh, and actually, you know what? It's not spot. Let me take that out of there.
Okay.
So this is just 105 smoke.
Okay. So 2d6 on a 7 or less, the smoke will be exactly where you want it.
Falling here. I don't know what I got.
Okay. So now you're going to roll 2 dice. The color dice will be the direction. We do 60-degree arcs, and the white die will be the distance. So it's going to go northeast 6 inches.
All right, not too bad.
So that'll be
6 is pretty rough. Oh, you're right. That's not too bad. Not great, but
so it'll land about there. Yeah.
All right.
So
do
then
move it to it.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it'll be 5 inches across the smoke because you did a smoke line.
Yes.
And then your next fire opportunity, which you could react to something I'm doing and correct it if it's fire, or your next supporting fire, you can correct it up to 6 inches. So it ends up where you want it on your next opportunity. So.
Sure.
Remind me if I direct fire on you that there is indeed smoke there.
I can lay it down. Hold on.
Okay.
I mean, this is for next round. There is. You mean
smoke's there immediately.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
All right. That's what you get. And you said you're firing for effect into the field with the 155?
Right in the center, right there.
All right. Accuracy die roll, please. All right. It's accurate. So that open field is taking 155 rounds.
I wish I need to get some the burnt looking what do you call it? Iron wool or what do you call it? Steel wool, not iron wool. Steel.
So I'm just curious, maybe for our listeners, why you would fire for effect into open ground.
I don't know. Piss them off. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
You have you have my undivided
because I didn't think I was going to make it accurate. How about that too? I was going with the wind.
Yeah, because this much intel you do have. The Russians hide in the trees.
Yeah, whatever. But hey, maybe they'll move. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Let me fix that.
So here's the question: so if you have especially something like 155 rounds going down, does that have any effect on line of sight, or does it have any effect on ATGM fire?
So at this game
Not that I have
scale, we
any
don't do
evidence
that.
that it should. Mm.
Yeah, we've often discussed revising that to some extent. Like, don't have don't have wire guided fire through a barrage and things like that. But at present, no.
Okay.
It also doesn't clear minefields. So wouldn't that be nice?
Hadn't thought of that, but okay. Well, nice to know, just in case I did get the promo. So I jumped down a bit and I moved the infantry and a Bradley here and a Bradley here and another infantry team.
Yeah, go ahead and do your guys' movements. I'll let you know if I want to interrupt anything. So
And then I'm going to get... So Bradley's move again, distance-wise?
17.
17.
Thanks.
And if you have them stationary, you pay a point to get them in motion. It also costs a point to stop.
Okay.
And then the only other thing that costs is like a 45-degree turn, so a point.
Just...
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
So I think that's about all the movement. I'll stop. I'll stop next turn and let you move your platoon.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably
relocate.
I'll probably let you go forward with the R's here, and kind of I'll go around this tree line and kind of come up towards this brown field here with the leopard platoon.
Yeah.
Basically, come in from this side.
Yeah.
Assuming there's nothing in this line here, so we'll have
Avoiding Broadway.
Huh.
Okay, so
see, I want him to make them know that I'm coming that way, so I'm laying it down.
That's right. You have
You
our
know,
attention.
somebody is laying down over here. They
Okay.
must be coming this way.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me know when you finished your movement.
Okay, so something else to look. No. Sorry, change my mind. No, I'm good. Okay.
All right. So you finished your movement. You don't get much of a reaction from the Russians. So we're in your advancing fire if you had any. And really, at this point, there's not much you could do. You could fire a tree line blind. That could cause a cohesion effect and so on if there's people there. So, all right, Russian turn 2. I do have a die roll to make. Actually, I have 2. First one, I'm good. Second one, I'm good. Okay. All right, I am going to roll 1 die, and this is counter battery fire on the 105 battery. So that's a single die to see if I suppress your battery. And the following things can modify it. If I have a UAV spotting you, I don't. And if I have radar, I do. And if you're towed. So those things are basically the base chance is 1, and with those modifiers, I get a 3, and I have indeed. So for the next turn, you cannot use the 105 battery; they are relocating.
Son of.
And if you wish to counter battery my battery that counter batteried you, then you can do so with the 155s. So.
Yes.
The duel continues. All right. So let's note it is turn 3. Note you have. Oh, that's right. I have one more die roll. Maybe.
This is becoming very Napoleonic.
All right. Let's note start at turn 3. Well, we're still in the preliminaries. We're not in contact. So. It's, I counter your counter. Yeah. So. That's right. Form a square. All right.
Do I do that now, or I can do that in my first phase here?
You could indeed declare counter battery now.
I think I will, just because we're trying to advance through there. Yeah.
Okay. So your counter battery, because your UAV is on the table, you don't get that bonus. You are firing at vehicles that are not towed vehicles, so you'll need a 2 with 1 die. Okay. You have not suppressed the battery, and having done that, your fire in the field has stopped. Yeah, you're busy assisting other callers.
My plowing the field. There goes our field, our grain exports for the quarter.
That's right. Okay, and make your contact rolls.
All right, I will do that here.
Because you still have the 105s available.
Oh, no.
You have both failed, so the smoke will drift this turn. So roll 1 die. We'll figure out which way the wind's blowing.
All right, here. Very Bob Dylan of you.
Yeah, I'm going to use the red die. So
3.
Okay. So yeah, the terrain will drift.
Be careful. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And those do have collision models, so they will knock shit out of the way too. So watch out.
That's great. That's great. Okay.
Have we figured that out yet, Tom? How to make the damn fog not?
No.
we need to put the fog on sticks, so they're over.
This is the animated fog.
Clouds.
Yeah, this is the fog that is animated.
Yes.
Then I don't think I can work with that.
I will have to figure out what the scripting is. I might be able to.
I'm afraid there's no. I don't know if there is only scripting.
Right, sorry,
this is the thing that is beyond me, because I think the animated stuff can only be imported through
from like a Unity model.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Unity assets, and I couldn't figure that out yet.
Yeah. So the smoke is still there. It's drifted, and at the end of the turn, it'll dissipate because you're not adding new smoke rounds. So I'm gonna go get some coffee. You guys go ahead and move, and we'll probably still won't be in contact. So yeah, there's some intel for you.
I'm gonna let you physically move first, but I am gonna start moving around here.
Okay, I'm just gonna move my infantry up to the tree line. That one's going to mount. So just move off the board for a second. That's all okay. That's all I was going to do. I was just going to let you through.
You're not going to move these leopards up?
No, because they're the mine rollers. So
okay. All right, that's fine. I'm going to move these guys starting here.
I mean, if you'd rather that I moved sort of...
No, that's all right.
I have returned.
Okay, these guys are coming here. Am I in a minefield?
No, sir.
Okay, so these guys are coming up here. They're not using all their...
Yeah.
How much movement do these guys have?
The leopards can move 22. Yeah.
Okay, so they just did about... Let me
check the 2A4s. Yep.
Just
same for the 2A4s.
All right, so I got about... You said 22. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So then these guys are going to... Turning is free.
Turning is 1 inch of movement to turn. 45 to 90 degrees.
So I'm going to go about 9 more. So just tell me if I start hitting them. Minefield, or I'm going to go about here.
Oh, I'll let you know.
And is it important to point the turrets in a direction, or is that just assumed that they're doing things?
Yeah,
you are. Yeah, if the turrets are not facing forward, we'll declare it. We'll just remember it. We won't fiddle with the models. So, because yes, if the turret is facing a different direction, then we will need to track on the 2-hit, whether you're hitting the whole of the turret. So.
Just fell off a field. I had a nickel for every time I said it.
That's right.
All right. I'm gonna go into the left echelon here, and well, you know what?
Yeah, I want to point out you're still pretty close to your forward line there, so No one would have put a minefield that far north
All
recently.
right, I need to fix this. Give me a
Yep.
second. All right.
Yep. So I'm just saying, when you think about your movement, you're still not very far past your own, um, forward lines. So
I think it's banging on the tree up there.
Yeah, there's something screwed up here.
Was it
Give me a
I would
second.
say just remove the
It's brown.
tile.
It's
Just
the
move
tree.
through the yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm a perfection.
Is the brown one locked down?
Oh,
Yeah.
well. So you drive up the field and then you fall off the end of the field, disabling your
Let's
vehicle.
just do this right here. We're fine. I'm trying to get it so that these guys can be just a little bit further.
It's acting like the weight of the models are flattening the tile. It's fascinating.
That's what you do on the table too, right?
It absolutely is. Well, we're using felt, and we have people yelling at each other about whether the colors are too bright.
That's
So.
funny. It is. It actually does have weight. Okay, let me lock down this guy. Let's see what happens. All right, whatever.
So, did you see the last thing I put in chat? They have in fact spotted Russians unloading T10, at least one T10 in Donetsk. A late 1940s tank, early 50s.
You want me to put just like Nick was asking, can we assume that these guys are doing a spread coverage by turret?
Just declare it. We'll remember it.
All right.
Yep.
Spread coverage like this, fan out like this, and cover.
Mhm.
These guys are covering this way. These guys are covering here.
I'm
bet.
interested if they actually will use the stuff like T10s or even the T55s. They actually use them as tanks, or maybe they convert them to
It seems
support
they're
vehicles?
using the majority of their use of tanks, and this is consistent with other static battlefields. They're using them as self-propelled guns.
Okay.
There's a lot of
All right, so
evidence
these
of
guys-
that. They're just using them as artillery. So,
I'm done moving up here, Nick.
and my theory why they would use the T-55s rather than something more modern is the available ammunition. They hadn't tapped all that Cold War 100 millimeter. So
Jesus Christ, they still have ammunition, but new ammunition?
I'm
This
not
must be-
saying that it's not going to be a little sketchy when you put it in the gun. I'm saying they fired off all their
Because
smooth
I
bore
wonder
122 millimeter, 125
what-
millimeter.
What can be the expiration date on 100 millimeter shell like that?
Well, Ukrainians have captured ammunition, Sabo ammunition, disintegrated in their hands. So, your guess is as good as mine what conditions it's all in. But they had, in the 80s, they still had active stocks of ammunition for T-55s
Yeah,
because they were still in reserve.
We still speak about Russian ex-Soviet army, so
Yeah. But no, it's clear they are firing.
okay.
They're firing plenty of stuff manufactured in Ukraine during the Soviet Union in this war.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, you would thought that it
Oh,
will
don't worry.
be
Hold on.
rusted enough to explode in a barrel.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's like no. You look at the stuff that is being sent to Ukraine. It's like, oh, here's a tow that could have been sent to the Iran-Iraq war.
Should I just pick it up, Peter? Because it's I think I've got an infantry unit underneath there. I've got that. Okay, let's get that.
Surprise!
You might have to move these guys
They're
too.
coming out of the ground now.
Speaking of Iran, we need.
Let me just move that guy across a bit.
That's worth another point of terrain bonus if you're completely under the tile.
Here,
I think you have just put the tile on top of the column. Yeah.
This guy was in that.
here we go. How about that?
No one ever hid a tank beneath a physical tile in your tabletop games.
Not on purpose.
Just pull that guy back a bit. That guy there.
I was just thinking the last time we did a Prokhorovka game, and the guy who had written the scenario watched me drive my Tigers way up the field. He's like, but
See, this is very much
these are my Tigers.
having this like this is very much reminiscent of people will buy these terrain mats, right? And then they'll shave them. They'll take a shaver.
Yep.
And they'll actually
Yep.
shave the
Yeah.
paths in there. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yep. and get them, close cut enough
Yeah.
to match the scale.
And
'Cause
then
so much
and
stuff
then
you
add
buy
mud
is like,
train in there too. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So,
like,
But do you at least have train mats that are on proper mats? Because I think we have them in Poland, but they are on like paper.
oh,
yeah, I think it's like
Because
almost like a
people
carpet
just glue
material,
them
right?
to the sturdier base, and they are almost useless for tabletop because
yeah.
they just
It's interesting. Our local group, we've got an eclectic mix of fabric remnants, carpet remnants, even
Ooh.
stuff that's like was originally corrugated cardboard, all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
And that's the big fight about your color palette. I tend to be pretty drab, and I'll decorate with ballast rock and sand and things like that. But like Steven and his dad Rick, they've been playing Micro Armor since I was a baby basically, and they're a lot more likely to like the layout. Like you see the picture for this battle, all the felt fields. They're just different looks. One thing I don't like that we used to do a lot of is just mark roads out with tape. I never like how that looks.
Yeah. I mean, it's so cheap to buy some of those rubber based
Yeah.
ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also I'll like I said, I'll if it's an unpaved road, I'll do it with ballast. So it looks
Mhm.
like a gravel road.
All
It's,
right.
it's hard to clean up. I actually bought a mini vac for my.
And then reuse it
Mhm.
and empty it and reuse it.
Yeah,
It's cheap.
well, I love lichen because lichen looks the right size.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, lichen probably. I can't
Yeah.
find a good lichen equivalent.
Oh
on the
yeah,
tabletop
a
market. If you ever
synthetic
run into
replacement.
one, tell me.
Yeah, there is stuff that's you can pull it apart.
That's
Like,
kind of what I use these
yeah.
these things. If you look too closely to these, they're actually whatever. I'm not even gonna tell you. It's floating a little bit, but don't look too.
I think we're good with the movement.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I will do. I will put.
I am gonna save the game just real
Okay.
quick, just for 1 second, everybody. Just don't touch anything.
We've done an hour, and we're really still not in contact. So,
Save.
all right, I have a couple rolls to do on my turn here. Let's see, there's the one roll. Oh, ironic. And I got two more. One and two. Cool. All right, I could do it if I wanted to. That's what that comes down to.
That doesn't ever sound good.
Yeah. Okay. It's turn 4. It's your turn. This is
Thanks,
exactly
so-
how it went on the table.
Any
The Russians
confusion?
just sit there and look enigmatic. By the way, that's really cool what you did. We often just put the movement shit on the platoon leader. To
Yeah,
know.
it's a bit confused at the moment because there's Bradley's on.
That's
Bradley.
exactly when you
Yep.
would do each one. These
Yeah.
vehicles are moving, these aren't, etc. Yeah. So.
Very good.
And then just remember, as you keep moving, like you decide when to declare that you're actually using the mine roller as a roller. That would be
Okay.
up to you.
I'm gonna Overwatch.
Yeah,
Overwatch
cool.
it.
I'll try and bring up to the tree line, and then we can work out what to do next.
And I'm gonna delete the smoke.
So, do we need to
pull it
make
over here.
these initial rolls?
Oh shoot!
It's all right. I don't think
That's the
it's
tree.
too bad.
Okay, yes. Now is when you would do your contact rolls.
Let me do that.
You have contact. And you have contact. Whatever was going on with electronic warfare has stopped, and you have access to your
Okay.
batteries again.
Okay.
All right.
And this is also like when you would declare a change in mission for your UAV, for example. But if you're happy with what it's doing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't picked up anything here.
You have not seen anybody moving, and your spot roll,
Maybe
you
we
spotted
need
as well as you possibly could, and you're not close enough
to-
for.
I'm just wondering if we want to
Right.
look. Are they capable of monitoring the tree lines to any great
You
degree?
you
with
watch
any,
the
like,
tree line.
IR?
Yeah, your spot roll would be from your location. Yeah.
They don't have any like IR cameras on there, do they?
What we're simulating here is just visual. Yeah. There are
Okay.
other systems that definitely are IR. I mean, if we're a night battle and you had a Bayraktar over, you would have
Right.
good IR. Yeah. And there are other night vision capable drones. So.
All right. So what else are we able to do right there? I can do support fire as well. Or,
Oh yeah, any
Where-
vehicle that's not in motion could do support fire.
right, but I'm saying artillery fire at this point. No.
Yes, we are right. We're going in. You have contact, so you could activate artillery batteries again. We skipped the activation roll last time, but that's
Yeah,
fine. That's
I'm
good for
gonna do the
demonstration
same,
purposes.
and I'm gonna actually do the 105 smoke more, like right there.
Yeah. Okay. You're doing the same thing? You're just firing for effect.
Well, yeah, I think so. I'm
Okay.
okay with that. I'm aiming at basically the corner of that tree right there, and then
Okay.
for the 155, I'll put it right. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it back a little bit, right about there.
Okay. And let me look at my map real careful then. Let's see.
Because I feel like the UAV is like right on top of that, and they're not picking up anything. So
Right where you were, you're really comfortable. You really closely scanned the tree line. You haven't seen anything. So there's that. Yeah. Okay. So give me activation rolls. These are 10s also for your 2 batteries. So we doing 105s first?
Yeah.
Okay, 105s. I hear the dice. I don't see it.
Oof, yuck. 10. Probably not.
Okay, it activated. That's what you need.
All right.
All right, so now on a 7, it's accurate. No.
Nope.
So now you're going to roll red for direction, white for distance. So it's going to be 2 inches north of where you intended it to be. So easy peasy.
Like right about
Be like
there. Yeah.
And then just lay your smoke down. So got what you wanted. Yeah.
As we knocked all the.
Well, in fairness, those trees would fall over. Oh, now it's on
Probably.
top of the.
You're right.
It's on top of the marker now.
Hold on. All right. Yeah. Oh well, it'll knock some stuff down. So be it. You know what? Let me just copy it into it. That's what we'll do. We'll just delete them and we'll just delete them and then blow them down. All right, so that's laid down. What about these bad boys over here? 155.
All right.
Down.
So accuracy die roll. Accurate. All right. So you have 155 millimeter landing. Landing here.
Chart. Yeah.
And then how this would work if you were hitting somebody is if it were a vehicle, we'd roll 2d6 and look at the indirect fire on vehicles chart. If it's infantry that is dismounted or is in an open top or soft vehicle, then we would roll on the infantry attacks chart. And this is all the way on the right side.
You want me to roll any of that just for
give me
sake?
Yeah. Give me a vehicle roll.
Okay, here's the vehicle roll. That's a.
You rolled an 8.
Mm-hmm.
That becomes a 7 because of the size of the battery.
Yeah.
And this being, if we were a vehicle that is not open top, that would have no effect. Now you're going to roll on the infantry fire table, and you're going to add 1 for the woods.
That was probably not good.
11 is bad. That becomes a 12, and that is a hold result. If they were in more cover than just trees, then you would have had no effect. There is a good chance if you are in a 155 millimeter HE bombardment in open terrain, there's a pretty good chance you die. You might die or rout pretty easily. So it is the queen of the battlefield.
I'm just going to pop off to grab a cup of tea, so I'll be back in.
Yeah, I might.
Sounds good.
I might reload mine here real quick. I'll be right back. 2-minute break.
In a bit.
Or so.
Yeah, I mean, it, mm, who knows? But yeah, I thought maybe they, though yeah, in places where there is
That's sweat.
less anti-tank, although I don't know how dense anti-tank
Right,
assets are.
right.
There are
You avoid,
probably places where there is less of them, right?
yeah. Broadway obviously is a kill zone, so you don't drive through Broadway.
Yeah, but there are probably places where you can, as you said, just move this thing close enough to use it as artillery.
Yeah. Well, and there's no way to avoid the mines. They actually are continuous from, you know, from the Dnipro to Russia.
Yeah, it's almost like World War One
Hmm.
all over again. It's
World War
crazy.
One, Iran-Iraq War, any other static situation. There is this lovely quote from Zaluzny.
Okay.
He apparently was on the phone. This is an American anonymous report in the paper here, that he just finally burst out at one of the American generals. You don't understand this conflict. It's not counterinsurgency. It's Kursk. Which
Okay.
is funny because Stephen and I had a long debate about uh, whether this is a Kursk situation and what it meant for the battle. Because
Yeah.
I'm just all like, yeah, Ukraine's winning. It'll take a long time, but they have initiative. They're gonna just nibble the Russians to death. And the negative conclusion would be, we've proven they're never going to break through. So where
Yeah.
does that leave them? I'm like, it doesn't take much. They can mask Tokmak. They can take the whole coast road under fire. They don't have to get to the Sea of Azov to win. So they don't need to
We'll
literally
see.
march tanks down the streets of Simferopol to put the Russians in an impossible position. So it is a bone of contention as
It's
we
just
discuss the war.
crazy how well Putin is still holding up in position after all of this because
Russia is never as strong as it appears, and never as weak as it appears. So there will be a turning
true.
moment where suddenly he loses grip, and we will probably won't see it coming. Like,
It's
we didn't see
probably
Prigozhin coming the first time. We knew he was going to die now, but he could have
yeah.
made it to Moscow, and he's a fool. He
No, I
was.
wonder how it will end because it will end probably it will be a stalemate till Putin is in power and then when he will you know
I think, yeah,
will be gone, the new regime or whoever will take will say, oh yeah, it was the war is ended and it is his fault, right?
that's right. Yeah, well, I think like a year from now, there'll still be Russians in Crimea and Russians in Donetsk, and their situation will just be worse. They'll
Yeah.
they'll be continuing to feed units into situations where they can't keep them supplied and things like that because in my view, the Ukrainians will be where they have disrupted all the communications in and out of Crimea. So they'll just slowly strangle the Russians in there. It's never going to be, it's never going to be Guderian marches on Tula.
No,
That's not modern warfare, particularly when you don't have overwhelming air superiority.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to wait when Putin
Which
will
what's your
be
I mean, what's
gone.
your opinion on air superiority throughout this? It's been quite
It's
interesting,
contested. It's
right?
contested air completely. They have no suppression or defeat ability with air defense. So they have found some effective strategies. Both sides are able to use air effectively for various roles, but it is from behind their own lines. This new starts with an L. The new anti-tank guided missile that they're firing from the Hokum. So they lost so many
Mm-hmm.
Ka-52s that
Right,
they have a 10-kilometer range ATGM. I don't know how they're targeting. Is it semi-autonomous? Is it laser guided
Yeah.
from the
Just
ground? But they are
uh,
firing them from too far away to
right.
be hit. And then the other thing is, it dawned on them that they were way behind the West on glide bombs. Uh, you know, um, a precision bomb that's just coming in on glide wings. So they have retrofit the Soviet bombs with this really janky looking, like it was made by Warhammer orcs, uh, wings, and so they're like 30 or 40 kilometers away. They're dropping those and they're gliding to their targets, and those are very effective. It's interesting. The Russians have had some successful adaptations when they can keep it low tech. Um, So it's clear like they are producing some tanks and some ammunition, and their problem is where they need microchips and things like that. They have, you know, they're really not producing it themselves, so they are whatever they can sneak into the country. So
I don't even know what's the situation with China right now. What China is doing.
they are definitely stuff that's dual use. They're getting all the dual use stuff like washing machines they want out of China. But
Yeah,
China, like officially, they're not providing war material. But what's war material? Tires war material
yeah,
are chips
right.
you could repurpose from
We're
a
back, by the
civilian
way.
drone to a military drone. Hey, welcome back.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Nick's back too.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I'm just thinking perhaps I should say something.
Yeah,
There we go.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, so you
Which,
did your movement.
which turn are we on? Which phase?
A couple quick things for the Russians to do, and it will be your turn 5.
Yeah.
So I've got
We're going
one
reasonably
die.
quick.
Yeah. Well, we're not really in contact yet, so
Yeah.
okay. All right. I have thing I was thinking about. I have finally. Okay, and there's that I've got, and that I've got. All right. So we have a suppression attempt by a battery on the 105s that fails. So you're hearing 100. You're seeing 152 millimeters firing from off table somewhere. So you could counter battery them in your turn, and that's what you got. Now we're into your turn 5. Now I must actually wait a minute. I am gonna move something, and you should do a spotting roll as a result of what I'm doing.
Which Bradley's and
The UAV is the only one that can see it.
all right. Nick, you can go ahead and roll that up here.
Okay, here we go. Terrible.
Okay,
Mm.
that will not cut it. You did not see what was happening. So
Okay.
You did not make it out of the drone room.
Do you want to hold position there, Peter, while I drive up to the next tree line?
Yep. I intended to hold.
Okay.
Until you get there.
you do have your contact rolls to make, and
Sure.
any other cohesion and supporting fire phase decisions.
All right, I will be doing some supporting
Oh,
fire.
another not very good one.
You have that was 10, right? Yep. So you
Yeah.
have contact,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
you can choose to make activation rolls now if you wish on
I got
either
snake
battery.
eyes, so
Yeah, you super
I
active.
really clear, Ivan. Really
That's
clear.
Yeah. Okay. So now you decide whether you're doing any supporting fire with your vehicles, probably not, or with your artillery.
Artillery is about to rain down.
And you can correct your fire that you're continuing. You could do counter battery fire if you wished, or you could just continue firing.
Now, as far as the 155 that was on site before, I can move that then.
Right. If you activate, you can move it 6 inches, and
Okay.
there's no new accuracy roll. Just
All right. Well, I am moving it right here. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely fine.
All right. And then I'm moving this. I'm moving the other here, but I'm doing it as HE.
Oh, okay. Onto the tree line. Okay, so all you need for both of those are activation rolls, 10 or less. 155.
Okay, 155.
All right. So it's falling on the tree line, and then the 105s.
105 is equally. I
Okay.
think.
All right. You are hitting the
So
tree line. So give me, for the sake of argument, for the 155, give me a vehicle and infantry roll again.
Okay. Here is that first roll.
Okay. If you had hit a vehicle, it would have just exploded. You would have been a direct hit, and you would have the 155 HE would have hit the side armor.
Yep.
All right. Give me an infantry roll. That would have killed the infantry that you were hitting. So 105s will do the same thing. 105s, that would not have affected a closed top vehicle, but we'll do the infantry roll.
Okay, here's the inf.
And
that's horrible.
Yep.
That just ricocheted and hit a bird. Okay.
Yeah. There's a trench somewhere with a Russian in it staring at a 105 millimeter round from the Reagan era that didn't go off.
Yeah, all right. some of the Y2K ordnance we didn't get rid of in Bosnia.
That's right. That's right. All right, it's your movement phase again.
Okay.
So we're two minds from the previous playtesting about the cat and mouse aspect of this. I find it exciting, but you might be like, "But I haven't gotten to shoot at anybody yet."
Yeah, no, it's going good.
It's
We're
exciting when you don't know where
Practicing. Our drivers are getting some training.
That's right. Right. So at the end of this turn, the smoke will go away. At the end of my turn, so it's just drifting again, and that tree line's catching heck.
Yeah, I might lay down some more. I might do a similar smoke line here. Oh, so you're not able to get up to there.
Not yet, no. But next turn, so just.
I think I'll hold. I got plenty of range. If anything comes out here, nothing will like themselves if they come out here.
Ooh, that was a spotting roll on my part. I definitely
the fact that you almost sharded. The fact that you sharded.
Oh, this again.
Oh, I put this to
Churtled? It's like, okay. The fact that you yurtled the turtle.
I yurtled, absolutely.
Why not? Came right back in. Making fun of children's books with fecal humor.
There we go.
This is what you do on an assault, That's kind of buys the time.
That's right. You play heavy metal and you drive forward fast without looking for the enemy.
Doctrine. Is there a band name Doctrine? Did we talk about that?
There should be a band named Doctrine.
Yeah, that's my new band name.
There we go. Doctrine.
Okay, I think everything's moved.
All right. I think I'm going to hold here for now until we lay down some cover here, or until you're at least at this line.
All right. There was no defensive fire. Actually, wait a minute. Let me think about this. Okay.
I think.
Yeah, not yet. So.
For our next go at this, what I can do is set you up some top-down views and put it in a Google presentation for you, so you can kind of, if you want to keep hidden movement a little bit easier, we can play around with that a little bit.
Well, I made a pretty good sketch. It's easy right now because
it's just
not where I am yet.
As well, right? It does help that you're playing the Op 4.
Right. Yeah, I could photograph my sketch and send it to my.
No, we trust you.
Yeah. Actually, I should send it to Thomas. I'll do that when I have a bit. Let's see.
Oh,
okay.
Don't make him chortle.
That's right.
Or you're
okay. Let's see. So I have a couple things to do here on my turn 5. One is contact roll. Yes, an activation roll. There we go. That's it. Another contact roll. Yes. And all right. So we are going to have a spotting round, and that spotting round.
Son of a biscuit.
Yeah.
Please don't say it's right here.
It's right there. So you have a wisp of purple smoke coming up amongst your tanks, and that's right. And it's time for the hind models.
Oh, you son of a gun.
No.
They're gonna come here.
That was very low. Spotting from your damn UAV, right?
That's right. So yeah, I did the mission, and let's see. I've got to see if I see your vehicles. They are multiple vehicles. They're not moving, but they're in the open. So target acquisition, base chance is 7. Target's in the open, that's a -1. Target is multiple vehicles. So on a 10 or less, I will successfully identify target. Otherwise, I'll get out there and I'll just look confused.
Just be confused.
12's now. Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
Poor
I have a
son
target.
of a
Okay.
bitch.
All right. So yeah, helicopters.
They're in the corner way over there.
Okay. Let me
And over there.
check
So
that
that's
out.
way out of range of our man pads, is it?
Oh no, they're
You-
coming in. I'm sure they're
You,
not going
you,
to be.
you can fire man pads as long, and you'll have a line of sight unless you are right at the tree cover. This is part of why I
Just
chose to come across like that. Let's see.
careful.
Oh
That's what I was going to tell you.
no!
Hold on, let me lock
Okay,
it.
we're on
Yeah,
target.
that's going to be a problem. I do have a guy here on the corner though, so he could get a shot out.
Also, I'm at very low, so these things are big enough to attract the attention of the SAM grid.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm very low, your area defense SAMs cannot target me, but your point defense can. So you're going to get one roll, and
I'll do that.
so we
You
start
want
at
me to do that,
6.
or you want-
Yeah, and you're going to have some bonuses. Yeah, helicopter is a -1. Target very low is +1, and it is a post 1991 SAM -1. So
Okay, I'm
on
waiting for you to
a
stop. Ready? Go.
7 or less, let's go.
Oh, unlucky.
Son of a.
Okay, so yeah, a telephone pole just zipped between the helicopters. Now the helicopters, I have a couple rounds of ATGM fire. That's the weapon I've chosen to carry, of course. So I'm firing.
Like that. If you look closely at the helicopters, they're like gyrating. Did you see
I
that?
love it. Yeah, they're wiggling. Yeah. Why are you wiggling?
It's just a little bit of crosswind here, everybody.
All right. So now the man pads. We said we have one squad that's in position, right?
Yeah.
So give me a die roll, one die. This is to see if the man pad is available.
6. That's not
Nope.
good, I guess.
They did not have it ready. They will have a next opportunity to do anti-aircraft fire. They will.
Okay, can the Bradleys fire at this range? Because I've got 2 Bradleys here.
Give me a measurement. Their effective range is 40.
Oh,
So
okay.
if they're within 40, they could take a shot.
No, it's out of range.
Well, you should be using grid rather than inches because that looked like 27 inches.
Grid. Okay. Hey,
Careful.
why can I not?
You are in range. So let's see. You're firing an AA cannon, and it's the same thing. Target is a helicopter and it's very low and offsets. So all of the Bradleys who have a shot will hit on a 4 or less.
Brilliant. Okay, so the lead, the one that's most furthest forwards.
Okay.
7. Oh no, 9. Sorry.
Okay. And you got another one that can fire?
And the other one fires and gets a 7.
That would have been sweet. They did lose one on this day, so have hope you might be able to take these guys down. Now I have 2 long-range AT-16 Scallion shots. Let me get a range here. I'm over 40. You are stationary, correct? Those leopards?
The lead leopards are, yeah.
Okay. So this is Soklos. It's over 40, so my base chance is 10. That's really it. So bit of a duck shoot. And here we go. First helicopter. Is that a cocked die?
Cocked
Oh
die.
my word.
Wow, I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Okay. Rerolled. So this leopard here. What direction was the turret facing?
It was to the left.
So
11.
this is still a side shot. And this is a 2A4 or is it a 2R?
A4.
Okay. So our side armor is 4. You have the benefit of ceramic armor against the heat round, but I have a tandem charge. Well, you still get the benefit. So this is H against 5 armor with the Chobham modifier. One moment. I will go to the to kill chart. So 5 armor and 8 heat is a base of 11, and I add 3 to what I roll because of the Chobum. And it's not actually Chobum, so but you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
So that is 7 plus 3 is 10. So this is a dead leopard.
Okay, I'm trying to find a fire marker, which
Okay.
I had before, but
All right,
I'm
I will now fire the other helicopter. I've hit, and this is the vehicle to the right of that one, and the dice are moving very slowly. They're actually floating in the air. All right, 2 dead leopards. But if you're not, before those helicopters get to do anything else, you get another chance to shoot back at them. So
from over here.
From here, from where?
well,
So these guys are moving as well. So hang on, let me just. I didn't see
Yeah.
how far they were away.
yeah, they could fire. It's that same 4.
You hit
so-
these ones.
Yeah, front leopards.
So those guys were just
that's
on the
not
edge. He's too
Well,
far.
that's
So,
great.
so these 2 guys can fire as well.
Well, let's go ahead and retcon and have them shoot. They were in
Okay.
range. They missed. Yeah. So
Okay, so left one,
nope.
right one.
Oh, so close. And last one.
And now these 2.
No. So no, they just fired, right?
They fired already. Okay,
Yeah.
so that.
Yeah. I was just giving you the ones here that are in motion. They
Yeah.
also would have gotten a roll.
Yeah,
So I think you got one more vehicle though.
no, I think he's just out of range.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So your actions this course are get to cover from where the helicopters are, use smoke, get in motion to make it less likely to get hit. So, and keep shooting at the helicopters.
Right, so us to move now, is it? So
Okay, so that was my that was right. This was my supporting fire, and then the other thing is I do have a battery firing counter battery that has once again failed to silence your 105s. So that's it. It's now your turn. Turn 6.
another question. So could the Bradleys fire toes at the Hinds?
The Bradleys that are in motion are not eligible to fire anti-tank guided missiles. The stationary ones, however, absolutely could do that during supporting fire, or actually during advancing fire, which would have been immediately. No. Let's see. I did this during my supporting fire. We're back around to your supporting fire. The stationary Bradleys could fire toes.
Okay, so the ones then that are over here on the left flank will each fire a toe.
Okay.
Hind.
So you're firing at a moving target. You are, I think, under 40. So, you're going to be at 8s to hit. 2 chances.
8 and a both hit.
Okay. All right. So the to kill, these are basically, I mean, they're Hinds, but against this, they're basically unarmored. So don't roll boxcars.
5 and 8. So,
All right. You have dispatched the Hinds.
Yes.
Yay.
Revenge.
Yep. And this shows you
lovely effects. I just noticed. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wiggle. So this demonstrates why they don't get that close anymore in the actual battlefields. So because there's so many ways to take things down. So all right. So you do have, before we move on, we did skip this, but before we get to your supporting fire phase, we have contact rolls and we have a cohesion roll for the armor.
Okay, so contact roll.
For the
Yes,
other-
you are in contact with your batteries, and you too, Peter.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yes, contact with the batteries. Now, did you lose your command vehicle in that platoon?
Yeah, I would probably say yes.
Okay, so this is You've got 6 vehicles, so you've lost 25%. So that's +1. Lost unit commander is +3. Your cohesion started at 11, so your cohesion is 8 now. So 2d6.
Do you want to roll that? Yeah.
All right. Despite losing 2 vehicles, you are unimpeded. Oh, and let's see, delete.
I don't know if you want to maybe describe that to Nick, just what we just did, just because that's probably the first time we've done it, like a cohesion check.
In addition to the individual morale effects on squads when they are shot at, they can go on hold, suppress a route. A formation as a whole rolls cohesion, and there are increasing cohesion effects that make it harder to move, are unable to do supporting fire, or forces you to retreat.
Okay.
That happens at the unit level rather than the individual counter.
Cool.
So you have passed your check, and you can keep advancing, and you also probably cheering because you just saw a couple hookums fall out of the sky.
Okay, so
And that was just perfect Overwatch there too. They popped up where you could shoot toes at them, and down they go.
okay, well, we can keep up with the perfect Overwatch, but even with perfect Overwatch at this rate,
So if you decide to drive into the tree line with tracked vehicles, you roll 2d6 for each movement through the trees, and on box cars you're immobilized. An immobilized vehicle is immobilized for the game unless you have an armored recovery vehicle.
Oh wow, okay. Well, okay. Still fancy my chances. So they're basically going to go up to the tree line and.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to be able to see out from the tree line, then you'll do the bog roll.
Yeah, they will.
All
I
right.
don't quite know how to push it in there, but you know.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, and let's see if we get any boxcars. That 1 in 36 chance.
Okay, let's roll for all 3 there because that's going to happen.
Okay.
So they're from the right to the left.
1,
Is that
2,
okay? Is that
3.
okay?
Yep. It's when you decide to drive into houses or stone walls or through deep mud that it gets exciting.
So he can get up to. He can go all the way to the corner. Cool. Okay. So they are not in motion anymore. And I think they have sufficient left to deploy some chaps as well.
Get through this turn at least.
And then these guys, how far can they go? Oh, easily. And that guy can. Yeah, okay, good. So 2 more rolls coming up in a minute.
All right. I'm not interrupting your movement, and you've not found any mines.
Okay, another 2 bug checks.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow. The trees bow out of your way.
Yeah, they know who's boss. So
they're Ukrainian trees. And what about your leopards?
Peter, do you want to take care of the leopards while I do finish off the Bradleys?
Yeah, that's fine.
So these guys, they can make it up to the tree line as well, but that's going to be.
And are the mine rollers rolling, or are they just driving?
They're just driving at the moment. Or should we?
Where do you want them to end up? Just generally speaking, where do you want them to end up? I'll move them where you want. Just like.
Should we move the tanks roughly online with the Bradleys, and then
I think so.
Push forwards with stuff next time. So these guys will just drive forward.
Just tell me if I need to stop. I'm pushing the roller once first.
Oh, it's getting exciting.
Oh shit. See, you gotta wait for Walter to start chortling again to know when you need to stop moving.
So let's get some.
And you're damned if you stay near each other. You're damned if you move. You're damned if you don't move. It's basically war. Yeah.
Stationary in the open is scary. So.
Well, nothing happened around that way actually, so let's pull this way then. So he can make it up to there. He can make a roll to see whether he gets it. And this guy. Yeah, he's loading up. So there was a guy who went through the trees there, so I'll just roll for him. Okay. There's too much laughing going on. It's unnerving.
No, I direct messaged my horrible little sketch map to Thomas. You're absolutely right. If it's indecipherable, the enemy cannot possibly know your intentions.
Right, I think I could push forward another inch or two.
You have to count the hedges, so you can see they're not rolling for mines yet. There, Thomas. So.
And they will have markers on them, won't they? Because they're not going to stop. All right, that's. No, I'll put one on. I've got one.
They're all in motion. Those Bradley.
They're all in motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be
you can always just put a marker with the three of them. We'll know.
Yeah. So. No, I'm just doing it for completeness. Once started, I can't stop. So there we go.
Excellent. Well, did we want to do one more turn?
Where are we at? What turn are we on?
That was 6.
And then it's your go right now, right?
Right. But my turn will... let me do my go. It'll be real quick. Right. So, I'm gonna contact good, activate. Yes. All right. But what I'm actually doing here is I'm going to attempt counter battery again on your towed guns. 105s are... Oh, no, they weren't firing, were they? You've gone a turn without any battery fire. I can't counter battery, so... Never mind. I do nothing. All right, that's 6 turns done.
I feel
we can stop it here, or
we probably should, just because
we're
not going to get through it. And, yeah.
Okay, and then the shooting and exploding will really get started next time. So we played cat and mouse for a day.
Okay, so what's the plan then moving forwards?
I can probably do Saturday or Sunday next weekend, unless the tropical storm gets in the way.
I can do that as well, I think.
Okay.
Yes, I can. But then I'm away for a couple of weeks. But
which one? So you're saying same time next Sunday? Is that what you're saying?
That would work for me.
Is that? Yeah.
Let me see. What time do we started?
We could start at 9 if you're up for it, Walt. If you want.
Sure.
I'm flying on. I'm doing a flying lesson on the Sunday, so I'm flying from my.
Do you want to then move it to? I can do it the Saturday if you want.
Okay.
If it was,
let's shoot for Saturday morning.
Yeah,
I like sleeping in on Sundays.
Would Saturday morning be okay,
yeah.
Nick?
Sure.
Saturday's good. Yeah.
Yep. All
right. Saturday. I'll pencil it in.
So, all right. So we'll set we'll set a time in the Discord.
Okay.
So, cool.
So,
I am saved too.
Yeah. Perfect. And I've posted my my best screenshot here. I'll be interested in the feedback when we're all said and done about scenario design. It both times we played it, the Ukrainians spent a long time making contact with the Russians, which is
Yeah.
partly intentional because we're representing. Yeah, anyway, but I'll have to think about how to like compress that.
I wonder whether you could do
what
a
I
kind of
publish.
like I think it's I've not played it, but I believe I'm right in saying Spearhead or other games where you can plot your sort of general plan of advance, and the sort of it's an umpired one, then the
And
umpire can
let it
get
be
them.
umpired before you put it to the table.
That's
Interesting.
right. Yeah, we can say
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah, maybe we can
if the sides
pre-plot 'em.
agree, we'll just flow it till there's contact rather than what we're doing here. You know,
No, it's good though.
Yeah,
No, it kind of
yeah.
slowed us into the rules anyway, so it's
Yeah.
fine. And
That's true. That is a plus. That is a plus point. And I mean, it is exciting, and tense moving up. But then after a couple of turns, it could be luring us into a false sense of security.
Well, yeah.
Also, I feel like I needed to emphasize more, and I'll note this in what I write in the rules, that where you were, since you were on the Ukrainian forward line of resistance, that you would have known like the mines aren't going to be within 10 inches of there because that you already have it under observation where you're starting. So I can make that clearer that there will at least be a little bit of a movement to contact.
People would be,
so.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, my money's on down here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
yeah. None of the play tests of this have the Ukrainians volunteer to drive through Broadway. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right,
Sean.
awesome. I'll look forward to next Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah, we should be able to wrap it.
For the invite, and enjoyed it. So see you next time.
Take care. And StreamYard. Cheers.